All right, let's talk twink leveling. Today, I want to share with you one of the coolest leveling experiences I've actually done in a long time. If you've followed this channel before, or if you've seen some of my previous videos, you know I've leveled with a variety of different ways. Some of them being hollow palm, some of them being widow hail. I've done pretty much all of them, and today I want to talk about something a little bit different that really shook me. I was not expecting this to be anywhere near as good as it was, and I have just been blown away. Earlier in this league, I wanted to level a new character, and Twitch chat convinced me to level with the hollow palm, and I leveled with the classic hollow palm with volcanic fissure of snaking. Originally, when I decided I was going to make a new character, I was going to level again with volcanic fissure and make the video about that. But as I put the gear together for my new character and I started to get it all ready and I went to go level, Twitch chat was just like, wait a minute, hold on. Let's talk about power siphon. And I was like, oh, what is power siphon? And they say, well, power siphon in locust mines is one of the coolest new techs to leveling. And I haven't heard of this before. I didn't know anything about this. And I said, please, by all means, explain. So my buddy Blossom, who helped me with previous builds, was like, hey, this is like a really cool leveling tech. You have to do it. And he started explaining it. And then my buddy Diggz, who also gives really good advice on leveling and good character build ideas, started to explain it, and he pretty much put together a very basic POB for me, and he gave me this, and I was like, cool. And he's like, here's some notes, good luck, have fun. And I was like, awesome, perfect. So I took these extremely extensive detailed notes, I grabbed some of the gear, I asked Diggz some questions, and we got to work. Essentially, what you're going to do is you're going to do the whole Act 1 or level 1 through 12, taking advantage of Envy, which is a King's March exclusive. You can actually get simple one-handed weapons, and you go over to King's March, and you can enchant your weapon with a rune from Danig to have Envy. Envy in itself takes 8 war runes, very common, very easy, very basic. You put Envy on a level 1 weapon, and it essentially just gives you a bunch of free damage. And if you don't know what Envy is, Envy gives you 101 to 141 chaos damage with attacks and 91 to 121 chaos damage with spells at level 1. It takes 40 or 50% mana, but it just essentially makes it so anything that you're doing at level 1 pretty much one taps and clears the entire screen. You'll do that with something like Spark, Spectral Throw, Splitting Steel, whatever your level 1 through 12 preferences for a skill. And then at level 12, we'll swap over to the whole Power Siphon Locust Mines. Now, if you've never seen it before, just like I haven't, Power Siphon Locust Mines is a skill that you'll use that you'll throw mines that will auto detonate for you, and they'll auto target mobs and pretty much clear your whole screen for you. And you can see right here, they just clear Blood Aqueducts really, really, really simple. And if I were to go to something like Act 10, the Desecrated Chambers, you would be able to just blitz through the Desecrated Chambers. You see they auto target for me. I don't have to do anything. They hit everything, they shoot everything, and everything just insta dies. Now, when I played this skill and I went through the campaign, right now my playtime is 4 hours flat. I had finished on stream in about 3 hours and 10 minutes. The extra time between then and now was due to hanging out with Twitch chat, streaming, talking to YouTube chat and stuff like that. And also, you know, getting stuff ready to record. But overall, you just blitz through every mob, no problem. You see I'm level 69 right now. I managed to go through the campaign and accidentally completely over level because of how strong this skill naturally is. This skill will hit multiple screens worth of enemies. This skill will just one tap everything as soon as it's rolling, and you can set it up as early as level 12. Now, if you set this up at level 12, you have to auto detonate the mines. It's a little of a pain in the butt. But if you want to wait till 24, you can set it up with automation and your mines will automatically detonate with automation, which makes life really, really, really simple. The other real big important thing to note is normally we're used to throwing mines in front of us and detonating them but Locust Mines requires us to throw the mines in front of us or a little bit away from us so that they'll detonate. So this makes your playstyle very similar to a bow character or a range character where you're going to just be off screening things. And the beauty of doing it this way versus with Hollow Palm is you have access to shield charge, and you could shield charge all around the campaign. Now keep something in mind, when you're doing level 1 through 12 and you get shield charge, I believe shield charge is level 4, you can actually just one tap all of the mobs. Shield charge it's level 4. If you have shield charge plus envy, I literally shield charged and one tapped all the mobs all the way until the end of Act 2. So I just shield charged my way all the way to the Valor Soul. It was insane. It was crazy. It was mind blowing, literally mind blowing. Now, Power Siphon is a wand-based skill or wand-based attack skill that scales off of physical, or I'm pretty sure it says, yeah, off attack speed, attack damage, physical damage. It also scales off of spell damage. We can use it with a mine thanks to Locust Mines. Locust Mines says that we can take an attack skill and put it into a mine. So we get to take advantage of that. We pair that with elemental damage with attack skills, volatility, added lightning damage, and charge mines. Very straightforward, very simple, gets the job done. Now, this armor we're going to be using, I used 1,000 ribbons. 1,000 ribbons I used instead of tabula for a couple of reasons. One, this armor can be worn at level 1. It adds a bunch of damage to attacks very early. It gives us a ton of resistances to get things going. And we can get it corrupted with increased damage at any percent for about a div. I guess now there are none because people saw me doing this. But I spent about a div on this earlier. If I check on and offline, we can see there's a couple for, 2 divs, 1 div. Oh, this is at 6 link. Unlinked, you can see they're a lot cheaper if you do them unlinked. You can get one for 60C, 80C, 100C, 1 div. If you don't know how to link corrupted items, you essentially just take right here, jewelers and fusings, and you do it onto the corrupted item. You bring it over to your crafting bench. You type in the word 4. You hit 4 sockets. You use jewelers till it goes 5. If it goes 3, you put it back to 4. You go 5, 6. Same thing here. You click 4. If it goes 3 with a fusing, you put it back to 4, and then you go 5, 6. Very simple, very straightforward. If you don't want to do that, you just pay the 3 divs. But this armor, for the cost of like less than a div, totally worth it, without a doubt. Everything else in the build, super straightforward, super cheap. We have a gold rim, 30% elemental resistance. This is 2-3C. If I got a maxed rolled one, which I probably should have, 30C, very straightforward. We have level 3 clarity, level 16 skitterbots. We have a low level clarity. You don't really need a high level clarity. A nice low level clarity will get you where you want to be. We're using a storm prism. I have mine corrupted with double damage. I got this for about 40-50C. Ideally, I would have liked one with flat lightning damage, and I would have liked one with lightning pen, but this is what I found for relatively cheap. If you don't get one with the corruptions on it, and you just get a very basic one, they're like no cost at all. It's not corrupted. These are, you're talking like a 1C wand. Even with the corruptions, it's super cheap. Our weapon, we didn't even put anything in the weapon. In terms of our gloves, we're going to be using Dodri's Tenure. They give us 100% spell damage. Pretty much gives us absolute free extra damage with our Power Siphon. We have a Flame Dash so that we can scale up and down ledges. We have Wrath for increased lightning damage with attacks. And we have Blood Rage. This was for early on for Act 2, so we think we generate Frenzy charges. As you go later on in the acts, you really don't need the Blood Rage. You actually generate all of your charges from Charge Mind support. But this helped us with the early levels in the early acts, just to give us a little bit of life leech until we swapped fully over to the Power Siphon Mines. These gloves, once again, just 1C gloves. We have a Prism Reeve belt. This gives us flat damage to attacks. This is a nice level 25 belt that we can use. This belt just gives you tons and tons and tons of damage. This belt, once again, super, super, super cheap, 1C. If you get a nicely rolled one with good resistances, you're talking about 5-10C. Not a problem. I also started at level 8 with Megagord's Girdle. This gave me a little bit of strength, some damage, nothing really too good. You can also do this belt here, String of Servitudes. You could spend a little bit of extra money, 50C, you get a nice belt, 48 all resistances, straightforward, no problem. Other options include the Abyss belt, whose name is slipping my mind. There's an Abyss belt with 2 abyssal sockets, and you put jewels in them. You could do that belt too. I can't think of the name of it. It is this one, Darkness Enthroned. And you can get basic jewels that you could put in there just for more damage, more attack, and go forth from there. Or boots, 7 league steps. Very simple, very basic. 20C, nice quick boots, good movement skills. We have Steel Skin, Automation, Detonate Mines. Detonate mines with quality, very important. This gives you mine detonation speed, very important. Makes things real smooth, real nice. Automation, you get this at level 24, makes your leveling experience an absolute blast. You think this skill ends up being good at 12? Wait till you play it at 24 when everything auto detonates. We did a like aside for your hits can't be evaded. We paired it with faster attacks and shield charge. Shield charge you get at level 4, and you can just blitz around the entire campaign. This shield, 5C. Very cheap. Replica to Salio's Sign. This was a little bit expensive. This was like 50C. This gives you cold damage to spells and attacks. Very nice, good flat damage. You can also replace this with a non-corrupt Lahoop with good resistances on it. This you can get good resistances and only good resistances like 20C. This would solve a lot of your resistance problems. But with how I have it set up right now, post killing Kitava, you see my resistances are in the positive. If I put this ring on, my resistances are still in the positive. If I press some flask, I'm completely resist capped. As far as amulets go, I just threw on an Astramentus for all attributes. If you get any amulet, Astramentus fills in a lot of the problems. You can get the Maraline's amulet for more crit, would also be really good. And if you were going to anoint anything onto your amulet, it would just be another power charge, as this build scales really well off of power charges. I didn't anoint the amulet. I don't think you need it. It's extra, it's good, you can do it, but you don't need it. And that's really about it in terms of gear and what you need for gear. Astramentus with a good roll, about 30C. Flask, very basic, pretty much free. These were old Mage Blood leveling flask. I didn't want to level with Mage Blood for this. I wanted to see how it goes. In terms of the tree, and can you do this on any class? You currently see I have 24 unspec'd points, and I have 0 ascendancy points in. This is absolutely on purpose. I wanted to see the absolute positive bare minimum needed to level like this to make sure it works for you. And I'm talking about the barest of minimum, as in like I didn't even take many notables bare minimum. The only thing on the tree that I did that was expensive, and the only thing I did on the tree that did anything at all, was I put in an Unnatural Instinct here for some of the smaller points, which you don't even need. Unnatural Instinct without corruption is about a div. 1.1. This entire leveling setup, including the Unnatural Instinct, 2, maybe 3 divines, maybe. In terms of can my class level like this, what classes can level like this, how can I do this? As you see, I did this as a Slayer or as a Duelist, and all I did was path to relative nodes or important nodes. Important nodes include piercing shots for additional projectiles to pierce. You can always just put in a pierce gem and take out like anything like LE damage for pierce. You could take out volatility for pierce. You can take out like, I wouldn't take anything out. I would just get the pierce node, or you can just very easily anoint piercing shots. Problem solved. This makes your clear great, smooth, simple, easy. And if you're leveling something like a Marauder that's on this side of the tree, just anointing this on your amulet would make your life an absolute breeze. Outside of that, important things to note that we want as many power charges as we can get, because this scales all of our damage. And we want 1 set of mana reservation efficiency of skills and 1 small notable for mana. So it doesn't matter where you get them, as long as you get some mana reservation, whether it be over here from Sovereignty, you have down over here, you have Charisma, you have Champion of the Cause out all the way over here, which is probably way out of the way. There's Leader of the Pack that's somewhere over here. So over here, Leader of the Pack, you can grab Leader of the Pack. That's all you have to worry about. And then you just grab a bunch of damage nodes. You grab devastating devices for critical strikes with mines and power charges. You get more mine penetration. You get volatile mines for more mines and more detonation speed. You're gonna grab elder power for damage per power charge for your wands. So you just get a ton of flat damage. You grab disintegration for critical strike chance with wands and critical strike multi. We take efficient explosives for mana reservation for mine skills, and we have discipline of the forbidden for increased damage gain per power charge and more damage for power frenzy and endurance charges. Our charged mines here will give us power charges, frenzy charges, and give us everything we need in terms of charges. And all of this will give us enough damage to pretty much blast the entire campaign without issue. If you say to me, hey man, I want to play it as a witch, how do I do this? Well, that's real simple. Path to here, from witch, go straight up. You can cut through these life and res nodes, take this and follow the tree south till you get to about here. If you want to do it as a ranger, you start here in path and grab these nodes and then do the same thing. If you want to start as a shadow, cut straight across, grab blood drinker, come down to piercing shots, get mind drinker, come up here and get all that. If you wanted to start as a Templar over here, literally path up and do the same thing as a witch, where you come to here, go here, cruel preparation, and then come all the way down and over. And this is why, I mean, anointing piercing shots is probably really good, as it just lets you just cut across and save some points. If you wanted to do it as a marauder, you would just cut across down over here and just cut straight across. I did this with 24 extra points and no ascendancy, and it took me 3 hours and 10 minutes of straight shield charging and mining through the entire campaign. I'm convinced this can be done on anything. Even with Cyan, you just cut straight across through Harrier and come all the way across. It's a very straightforward leveling. It is a very simple leveling. It is not a very detailed leveling. You get a couple of pieces of gear, just like Hollow Palm, and you pretty much just blitz through it. I'm a big enjoyer of Widow Hail. I kind of like Hollow Palm, and this blew me away. Being able to just shield charge through the entire campaign, you just can't beat it. You honestly can't beat it. If you're interested and want to see leveling, let me know in the comments. I can record a video of me leveling with it. I'll happily level a new character and go through the entire campaign in a couple days. I do need to level another ranger anyways, and fully plan on leveling like this. If you have tried this, let me know what your experience is. If you haven't tried this and you're planning on trying it, let me know how it goes. I'd love to hear from you guys and what you think about it. If you tried it, if you haven't tried it, if you have friends that have tried it. But I really wanted to keep this video on the shorter side, very simple, very straightforward, very to the point. I'll include the POB that Diggz gave me down below, and I'll include my POB level done here for you guys, and you guys will get a good idea of where to go. And if you get stuck or you have questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Leave a comment down below. Stop by the live stream. Come on over to Discord. Be more than happy to help you out. But for now, friends, I'm going to get this video out to you guys, and I'll see you all in the next one.